Want to go live on YouTube using your iPhone, the Blackmagic Camera app, but you also want to be able to see your live chat at the same time. That's exactly what we're going to set up today using the Blackmagic Camera app on your iPhone and the YouTube Studio website on a second device like an iPad. So by the end of this video, you'll have a full 2-device streaming setup where your iPhone handles the camera and your second device, the iPad, handles the live chat. Shout out to animallovers_23 for the video idea. I hope you're having a blessed day. Before we jump in, here's what you're gonna need. An iPhone with the Blackmagic Camera app installed and either another iPhone or an iPad as your secondary device. You'll also want a solid Wi-Fi connection because streaming needs a stable upload speed to keep things running smooth. So first, let's start with the iPhone. Open the Blackmagic Camera app and on the right-hand side, make sure you're on the camera tab. Now in the top bar, you're going to want to go to FPS, which is frames per second, and change that to 30, and then lock your shutter speed to 1/60. The next place we need to go to is the settings section. So you'll find that on the right-hand side. Just make sure you're on the settings tab and then select record from the settings section. Now, the very first thing we want to do here is to change our codec to H.265. This is basically a more efficient way to compress your video so you get better quality at a lower file size. The next setting is resolution, and you're going to want to keep this at 4K. Now, you might be thinking, why 4K for resolution? But here's the thing. YouTube gives 4K streams a higher quality codec treatment on their servers using something called VP9 or AV1. So your 4K stream will actually look sharper to a 1080p viewer than if you had just streamed in 1080p to begin with. Next is color space, and we're going to want to switch this to Rec 709. And the last thing in this section is timecode display. For most people, you can leave this set to record run. But if you need real-world proof of when something happened, like you're streaming a food eating contest or a challenge and you want to show it happened in real time without any sneaky edits, then use time of day instead. And then the last thing we want to do is make sure we go back to the main camera tab again. And on the right-hand side, 2 buttons down from the big red record button is the LUT button, and we want to make sure that our LUTs are off. So we're doing this to bypass our normal professional log workflow and filming directly in Rec 709. This gives us that finished what you see is what you get look. Now you'll still have to keep your eye on your ISO, generally somewhere outdoors between 100 to 400 and indoors 400 to 800 to keep it clean. And I would still suggest that if you're filming outdoors to use an ND filter so you can control the brightness and stay at these low ISOs. The next setting is auto white balance, and I would highly suggest that you lock this and never use the auto white balance. Now, if you're live streaming between indoors and outdoors, the latest version of the Blackmagic Camera app has a preset option, so you could quickly switch between something like a direct sunlight setup and a overcast or indoor setup. Now that we've got the camera configured properly, let's go over to the live stream settings. So to get there, we need to go back to the settings tab, and then under the settings section, you're going to see live stream. In this section, you can select your platform, and for this tutorial, I'll be using YouTube. Once you've selected your platform, it'll open up to give you more options. The first things we need to adjust here is that the server should be set to primary and the quality should be set to streaming high. If you're on an iPhone Pro or Pro Max, this usually equates to around 6 to 9 megabits per second. And then we need to enter our YouTube stream key. So the stream key is basically a password that tells YouTube this stream belongs to your specific channel. If you don't know where to find it, you can go to YouTube Studio in a browser either on your desktop or on your second mobile device. If you're using a secondary device to do this, such as an iPad, to access YouTube Studio, make sure that the YouTube Studio app is not installed, as that will try to open that app rather than the browser, and we don't want that for this example. So now when we open up our browser, either Safari or Chrome on our iPad, and we navigate to the YouTube Studio, you'll need to tap the Live button, which is actually just below the Create button. This takes you to the live control room page. At the top of the page, you'll see your preview window. And you'll also see a stream key drop-down box in the upper right-hand side of that window. Now, you don't actually need to click that drop-down unless you want to create a new separate key for a different event. To get your current YouTube stream key, there are two icons to the right of the drop-down box. You're going to want to click the double square icon. That copies your stream key to the clipboard. Now, the easiest way to get this text into your iPhone is to copy it to your Notes app, then open up that note on your iPhone. Now, once you have your notes open on your iPhone, copy the key and paste it into the Blackmagic Camera app in the settings section under live stream in the key section. And most importantly, after you're done, make sure you delete your stream key from your notes. So now let's jump back to the live control room page on our iPad. So this is your command center while you're streaming. And the very first thing you need to do here is figure out your latency settings. So latency is basically the delay between what's happening on your camera and what your viewers actually see. In our case, we're doing a 4K stream, so normal latency is a good choice for this. And there is also some more settings that you should be aware of. The first is enable DVR. When this is turned on, your viewers can pause, rewind, and continue watching from where they left off during the live broadcast. Next is 360 video, and you can safely leave this off unless you have a 360 camera. And then we have added delay. This is really more for competitive gaming or sensitive broadcasts. So this will add a hard buffer like 30 or 60 seconds between your stream and what the audience actually sees. And then we have closed captions, and this allows you to provide live subtitles either through a third-party captioning service or YouTube's built-in automated system. Next is the Unlist feature. If you turn this on, the video will automatically become unlisted as soon as you stop streaming. This means it won't appear on your channel's public video list or in search results, but anyone with a direct link can still watch it. And then we have dual stream. This is a new feature that lets you simultaneously stream a vertical version of your video for the YouTube Shorts feed. And then you might notice that there's also a stream URL field in here. In most professional setups, like if you're using OBS, which stands for Open Broadcast Software, you'll need both the URL and the stream key. But because you're using the Blackmagic Camera app, it handles the URL part for you. And finally, we have the edit section, and this is your control center for how the stream is presented to the world. Clicking this button is the only way to change your title, description, thumbnail, and most importantly, your privacy settings. And this is important because I'd recommend that you test with a private or unlisted stream first. And here's why. If you go live in public mode, YouTube immediately sends a notification to your subscribers. And if you realize 30 seconds in that your mic is muted or your lighting is off and you might have to stop and restart, that sends another notification to your users, which can be annoying for your audience. By streaming in private first, you can watch your own stream on your second device to make sure everything looks and sounds right before you open the doors. Now that we're ready to go live on your iPhone in the Blackmagic Camera app, under Settings and then Live Stream, set the toggle button to on to start the broadcast. Once the stream is active, head over to your second device and you should see your live stream show up in the Live Control Room dashboard. Aside from your live stream and live chat, you can also monitor a few other things here. There is an Analytics tab, which shows you the raw data of your current performance. And then there's Viewer Activity, which is different from your regular chat. It logs important events that happen while you're live, so things like new subscribers, super chats, and memberships along with milestones. And the last one, which is probably the most important, is Stream Health. This will show you your connection status, any bitrate alerts, and if the stream buffers or cuts out. And this tab will give you a specific error message telling you what went wrong. And when you're done, ending the stream is simple. Go back to your Blackmagic Camera app and toggle off the live stream button. Then be sure to go back to your second device, and in the live control room dashboard, you'll see an end stream button. Click that and you're all done. So I just wanted to touch on a few things that most people don't realize about live streaming on an iPhone. If you're shooting outdoors, try to keep the phone to the best of your ability out of direct sunlight. Do not use a power bank through the MagSafe on the back of the phone. This way we avoid adding any extra heat to the back of the phone. One of the other tips I have is turn on Do Not Disturb on both devices. So this will help stop things that can interrupt your stream or pop up on screen. You should unload all the apps on your devices before you start streaming. You want your iPhone and iPad focused on one thing, running the stream and monitoring it. And lastly, one thing I do with my iPhone or iPad so it doesn't go to sleep while I'm streaming is to use a shortcut. The first thing you need to do is open the Shortcuts app. And then you're going to want to tap the plus icon to create a new shortcut and name it something like Auto Lock Settings. Then use the search section to search for URL action and paste this exact text. And the final step is to go back to the search and this time search for Open URL Action and link it to that previous text. To use it, just tap on the shortcut and it will immediately open up the Auto Lock menu. You can now select Never at the bottom of the list, and now your screen will stay on indefinitely. And once you're done your stream, you can come back to this shortcut and it will immediately open the auto lock menu again, and you can set it back to its default value. So now you're ready for your 2-device live stream setup. If you guys found this helpful, be sure to hit the like button, drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.